What's up everyone, I'm Calamontoast, and in today's video I'm going to be running a double Shadow Dragon Ground backline in the Open Ultra League with Flygon as a safe swap and the new Shadow Garchomp as a closer. Now I'd have preferred to use Flygon with Stone Edge on the safe swap, but this one already had the Community Day move before I powered it up, and to be honest I can't really afford to be using a ton of TMs in the middle of a Team Rocket event, and since Flygon did recently receive Boom Burst, it makes it even harder to get the charge moves that you actually want. Garchomp is running Earthquake since I couldn't be bothered to use an Elite TM on it, but honestly I really enjoyed the closing power of Earthquake. It still took me like 10 TMs to get, which is ridiculous, but it is what it is. I've got Slurpuff in the lead to deal with any ice types and other dragons, and with that being said, let's just get into the question of the day. What's the most underrated new Shadow Pokemon available with the current Team Rocket event? Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle, we lead into Venusaur. Not the best lead matchup, so I will safe swap into my Shadow Flygon, and right off the bat we're met with an Ice type, Abomasnow. This would be so much better if I was running Stone Edge, but unfortunately I'm not. I'm running Dragon Claw and Earth Power. We make it to Dragon Claw number 2, and this actually grabs a shield from the opponent, so that's pretty good. They do fully farm me down though, and they have so much loaded energy, which we can't really sponge too well on the Slurpuff. You're going to see now, these Weather Balls will really start to add up. They're going to be able to make it to 3 Weather Balls before I even get off the Flamethrower in this matchup, and we can technically live this, so I will let this move go through. Want to preserve my shields for my Garchomp. The opponent swaps into Venusaur, recognizing that I might be weak to Ice in the back, so that is not great. Going to swap into the Garchomp, hoping I can snipe them before they make it to a charge move, but I'm not able to do so. The opponent actually goes for Sludge Bomb for whatever reason, doesn't matter, because I use a shield anyways, and now I'm going to go for a Sand Tomb into this Abomasnow. This will make it easier to farm them down, and I also get the final shield as well. So I'm going to shield this up, hoping I will be able to get the farm down here, and I am incredibly low, but they've got a Swampert in the back. We make it to the Earthquake, and from a Shadow Garchomp, this will be taking out the Swampert, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, we see Slurpuff into Ampharos. Now I've got 2 incredibly hard walls to Ampharos in the back, so I swap into the Flygon and I bait out a Alolan Sandslash, and unfortunately this one is actually running Powder Snow, which you don't typically see anymore, but I'm able to win the CMP tie, grab a shield advantage, and that's probably the best case scenario, so I'm just going to let the Flygon go down. We have baited out the Ice type, so hopefully that means Garchomp will be able to sweep in the end game, but let's see. We're going to let this move go through. Ice Punch will do some decent damage. I'm going to overfarm. I don't know who wins CMP here, so I'm just going to go for a Flamethrower. 2 turns before they make it to a charge move. Flamethrower obviously one-shots them. They come back in with Ampharos, and they've got a Giratina in the back. Now, I don't expect a shield here from the Sand Tomb, but it will debuff their defense and hopefully allow me to fully Dragon Tail farm them down, especially when the opponent throws at an awkward time like that, where I've got 2 free turns in. We do get the farm down. We've got such little health remaining, but we triple resist the Volt Switch damage, so we might be able to take this game here. Gonna go for that Sand Tomb, and if we can live 1 more Volt Switch, we should be able to take it. I got to the Sand Tomb, but for whatever reason I swap into Slurpuff. Doesn't really matter. I should still be able to win this game. They're actually running Power Gem, which doesn't take me out, and now I can go for an Energy Ball. We did have that Sand Tomb loaded anyway, so even if I didn't survive there, I still would have been able to take that game. But GG's to that opponent. Into the next battle, we see Aggron in the lead. Not great, so we're going to swap into the Flygon. The opponent builds a ton of energy and they swap into Walrein. So once again, I really wish I was running Stone Edge, but it is what it is. We do make it to an Earth Power, and this will do a ton of damage to the Walrein, and it's also a CMP tie, so once again I'm pretty happy with that. Gonna let the Flygon go down, although Stone Edge probably would have taken them out from that range, so that is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Gonna come in with the Slurpuff, and we should be able to tank 1 move and then fully farm down this opponent. They go for the Icicle Spear, and that's fine with me. Gonna get the farm down, come out with a ton of energy. We swap into Garchomp, and now this Iron Head will actually do quite a lot of damage, so I'm gonna shield it up. It's actually a Heavy Slam. I don't know if the Aggron learns Iron Head or not, but I think Heavy Slam and Iron Head are like the same move, so it doesn't really matter. We're now going to go for a bait with the Sand Tomb up against Swampert, grabbing a shield, and we make it to another Sand Tomb, and this will now deal more damage as we did debuff their defense, and if they go for the farm down, we're actually going to get the farm down instead, and that's huge for me, but I still need to land at least 2 charge moves here, and they've got a shield, so we're going to grab that shield there. We don't get the debuff, and now I don't think Energy Ball will be enough damage to take them out. And if you're wondering why I go for Energy Ball instead of Flamethrower, they actually both deal the same damage, they're the same energy, but Energy Ball has a 10% chance to debuff the opponent's defense. So in neutral matchups like this one, you might as well go for the Energy Ball, and we're able to take out the Aggron and take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, we see Shadow Machamp in the lead. So this should be a good matchup, but honestly, Shadow Machamp is just absolutely busted. The opponent's going to go for a Rock Slide straight away, and from this range, if they wanted to, they could double shield and just fully counter farm me down, which would not be ideal for me, since this is the only Pokemon I have that does resist the fighting type damage. They go for a Cross Chop, and now I'm going to make it to another Energy Ball, but honestly, I think I have to swap out at this point, so I'm going to swap into my Garchomp, go for the snipe, but I'm not able to get there before they make it to a charge move, and I kind of have to shield this up. Cross Chop probably takes me out from this range, because Garchomp and Machamp are very attack-weighted Pokemon. Unfortunately, I don't think I was going to make it to the Earthquake, so I settle for the Sand Tomb. Honestly, I probably could have got there, although the opponent probably could have thrown a Weather Ball there, or not Weather Ball, sorry, Icicle Spear, but at this point I recognise there's just nothing I could do, so I do just concede the match there. But we did go 4-1 in that first set, so that's pretty nice to see. Into the next battle, we see a Shadow Swampert in the lead, gonna go straight for the Energy Ball. Do they know we're running it? Yes, they do, which is unfortunate. Now I'm going to swap into my Shadow Flygon, going to shield this. It could be an Earthquake, probably just a Hydro Cannon. It is, but even then, that would have done a ton of damage. So now I'm going to go for a Dragon Claw into the Gyarados that comes in, hoping I can make it to 3 Dragon Claws before they get to an Aqua Tail to potentially take me out. But let's see, it's going to be very close. We go for Dragon Claw number 2, and they're already at the charge move. I'm thinking I might live this, and we do live it, but we get taken out by the Dragon Breath before we can get off the charge move, which is unfortunate. We're now going to come in with the Slurpuff here, and I will get a very aggressive farm down. Going to have to tank at least 1 Aqua Tail, possibly even 2, but I will be able to tank these moves here, and then it all depends what they've got in the back. I'm going to have so much loaded energy, so if they do come in with the Swampert, I'm going to fire off the Energy Ball straight away, and it is the Swampert that comes back in. They're going to have to use their final shield, and if they go for the farm down, we're going to make it to another Energy Ball, and this will easily be enough damage to one-shot the Swampert. And what have they got in the back? They've got a Charizard, and at this point, it's still looking a bit dicey. Unfortunately, I'm not running Outrage, so I can't really just go for Sand Tombs here. Well, maybe I could have, but I'm not really sure. I think I should be able to live a Dragon Claw here, and I'm going to fully commit to the Earthquake. We do barely hang on. We live with 2 HP, but Earthquake takes out the Charizard, and I'm able to take that game. Honestly, I probably could have just gone for the Sand Tomb earlier, and then I would have dealt enough damage to take them out, but I wasn't really sure, but it ended up working in the end. But into the next battle, we see Walrein in the lead. The opponent's going to go for an Icicle Spear, and we're going to overfarm, throwing the Energy Ball just before they make it to the next Icicle Spear. And Energy Ball is super effective, but we're still going to have to land 2 of them to take out this Walrein, which is unfortunate. I'm actually going to shield this up, and then overfarm in this matchup. I go for a Flamethrower, predicting that the opponent might try and make a catch, but they don't. It doesn't matter. It still takes them out anyways. And now they come in with Typhlosion. I safe swap into Flygon, and I bait out a Venusaur. We go straight for the Earth Power. That does so much damage. The opponent goes for a Frenzy Plant, and we don't quite live there, as they do fully farm me down. And at this point, I think I should just sacrifice my Slurpuff here, but I actually get to the Flamethrower. I was hoping to grab a shield here, but my opponent's quite smart. What they're going to do is just let it go down, and then fully farm down my Slurpuff from this range, which is really unfortunate. Here I go for the Flamethrower. I should be going for Energy Ball. They're both resisted. They both deal the same damage, but it is what it is. Now here, I'm going to call that they're not going for the Solar Beam. It is just the Blast Burn, and now I should be able to shield this up and fully Dragon Tail farm down the Typhlosion. So even though they've got 2 shields remaining, there's nothing they can do as we get the Dragon Tail farm down and take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, Dragonite in the lead, a great lead to see. The opponent's going to stay in initially, and they eventually swap into Charizard. I swap into Flygon, and I think this might be a bit of a mistake, as I will not be able to flip switch advantage here. We are slightly spammier than them, but we do lose the CMP tie up against this Charizard, and now we have to go down a shield. We've not dealt any damage yet. Gonna go for the Dragon Claw here, and this is another matchup where I wish I was running Stone Edge, as I would have easily one-shot them there, but instead I have to go for these Dragon Claws as Earth Power is resisted. We grab a shield and we make it to another Dragon Claw, and I might be able to grab the final shield from the opponent. I do, and now I don't want to get farmed down, so I swap into my Garchomp, basically just sacrificing it, forcing them to offload their energy as soon as possible, and I also put them into a range where Slurpuff should be able to Fairy Wind, farm down the Charizard without tanking a charge move. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the farm down here, and let's see, the opponent comes in with Venusaur. We've got nearly 100 energy, so I can go for a Flamethrower. That nearly takes them out here. A second Flamethrower will easily be enough to take them out, and now I should be able to take out this Dragonite, even though both charge moves are resisted. But let's see, we go for a Flamethrower. I've got to be careful because these are fairly low elo battles. This Dragonite could be running all sorts of charge moves, like Hyper Beam or Hurricane, so I shield the first one. It is just a Dragon Claw bait, and now I'm expecting this is just going to be a superpower, so even though it's only single resisted, it is easily tanked, and we can make it to the Flamethrower. They've debuffed their defense, so Flamethrower easily takes out the Dragonite, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, another Machamp in the lead, and last time we actually had a lot of issues with the Machamp lead. The opponent safe swaps into Walrein. I have to stay in here, of course, as we've got two Pokemon that are double weak to ice in the back. Now I'm going to let the first charge move go through. I should be able to make it to another Energy Ball in time, but let's see, it's going to be very close, and we do get there. I think that would have been a CMP tie, but the opponent does overfarm in this matchup. And now they go for another Icicle Spear. I'm actually going to shield this up, and I should now be able to make it to one final Energy Ball just about in time as they're reaching a third Icicle Spear. And Energy Ball does grab the final shield from the opponent. So at this point, I'm actually going to let the Slurpuff go down, come in with my Garchomp, hoping I can farm them down. And we do get the farm down, which is huge. Then I'll come in with Giratina. I'm going to go for that Sand Tomb. And honestly, I should be swapping into my Flygon already, or at least after a couple of Dragon Tails. But instead, I let them fully farm me down. They go for a charge move straight away, gonna shield it up, and I don't actually have a clue how much energy they have, so I'm gonna go for that Dragon Claw straight away. Probably could have overfarmed by at least one Mud Shot, but we take out the Giratina, and now it's a race to the charge move, but the opponent wins the CMP tie, and they did farm up quite a lot, so it's actually a payback, which easily takes out the Flygon, and I do unfortunately lose that game. But once again, going 4-1 in that set. GG's to that final opponent. Now into a few bonus battles here. We lead into a Charizard, we swap into Flygon, and we bait out a Venusaur. And also, it's good to note that that Charizard was actually running Fire Spin as the fast move. We make it to a Dragon Claw up against the Venusaur before they even throw a charge move, winning the CMP tie. And so we grab a shield advantage. At this point, they should just barely outpace me to a second Frenzy Plant. So I'm actually just going to let the Flygon go down. Now I'm going to come in with the Slurpuff here, realizing it's absolutely useless up against Charizard, so I'm going to tank the energy and then swap into my Garchomp, go for the full Dragon Tail farm down. We get the farm down, so let's see what the opponent wants to do now. The opponent comes back in with the Charizard here, and they do make it to a Dragon Claw, so I'm going to shield this up, but I'm actually going to overfarm quite a lot in this matchup. The opponent swaps into a Swampert, so I'm going to go straight for that Earthquake. Earthquake connects, it does so much damage. I'm able to fully Dragon Tail farm them down before they reach a Hydro Cannon, and now this is game over for the opponent. We CMP tie, we lose CMP, but this does not matter. We had a shield anyways. We can now go for the Sand Tomb. Sand Tomb will debuff their defense. One more Dragon Tail takes out the Charizard, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, we see Alolan Muck. We swap straight away into our Flygon, and they're actually running Snarl as the fast move. So this is a bit better for the Slurpuff, of course, but it's actually not too good for the Flygon, as it does allow them to get to a charge move very quickly. We bait out a Trevenant. We go for a Dragon Claw. grabbing a shield, and here on the CMP Tide, this is just going to be a seed bomb, so I will be able to live this, and I'm going to be able to make it to 2 more Dragon Claws in this matchup, so I will be able to get the Trevenant very low already. So we go for a second Dragon Claw, and this actually grabs a shield from the opponent. I don't want to get farmed down, so I swap into the Slurpuff, knowing that I can't be hard punished by the Muck since it is only running Snarl. The opponent does swap back into the Alolan Muck, but that's fine with me. Gonna go for a Flamethrower here, and this will do nearly half of its remaining health. We make it to another Flamethrower. Will we be able to take out the Muck here? Barely not able to, as they do live with 1 HP, but it doesn't really matter too much. Dark Pulse takes me out. I can now come in with my Garchomp, get 1 Dragon Tail in to farm them down, and let's see if Garchomp can sweep another game. The opponent comes back in with the Trevenant here. We're able to fully Dragon Tail farm them down, shield once, and then it depends. Can I nuke something with Earthquake in the end game? It's a Cobalion, so the answer is definitely gonna be yes. Gonna go for that Earthquake, and it one-shots the Cobalion. I'm able to Dragon Tail, farm down the Trevenant, and take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, we see Dragonite in the lead. So great lead. The opponent swaps into Ampharos. Incredible matchup for me so far. We are completely walling them. They did farm to 5 Volt Switches, so it could be a Focus Blast. It is the Focus Blast, and now I can easily farm them down there. They don't even make it to another charge move. They come back in with the Dragonite. I could run Outrage, so I'm going to go for the Sand Tomb bait. Unfortunately, they do let it go through, and at this point, I'm just going to go for the Earthquake. It's double resisted, but that does so much damage, and I'm able to Dragon Tail, farm down the Dragonite, but they've got a Walrein in the back, Shadow Walrein, and a shield advantage, so now this is looking really, really scary for me. Gonna come in with the Slurpuff here. We do make it to the Energy Ball, but this will almost definitely be shielded here, and they do use a shield, so I don't really know what I'm gonna do here. Gonna let the first charge move go through. Icicle Spear, looking at that damage, I should just barely be able to live 1 more Icicle Spear. It's gonna be incredibly risky, but I'm counting on living it, and we live with 1 HP and a Dream. We get off the Energy Ball. Now I'm gonna swap into my Flygon. Well, actually, I do get KO'd by that Powder Snow, and I really hope I can make it to an Earth Power in time up against the Walrein. It's going to be close, but we don't get there, and unfortunately this Icicle Spear will easily one-shot the Flygon, and we do unfortunately lose that game. So even though I hard countered their lead and seriously hard countered the Save Swap, because they had a Core Breaker to my backline in the back, they were able to pull off the win. But into the next game here, we bait out yet another Walrein with the Flygon, landing the Earth Power, and we make it to a Dragon Claw as well. And this might actually grab a shield here. It does grab the shield. The opponent's going to go for the farm down, but we make it to another Dragon Claw, and Shadow Flygon is putting in so much work, grabbing both shields from a Walrein as a counter swap. That's kind of crazy. The opponent goes for Icicle Spear. They will be able to spam these Icicle Spears or potentially even go for an Earthquake. And they do go for the Earthquake here. And that will now allow me to make it to the Energy Ball. I just want to get rid of this Walrein. This thing is seriously annoying to deal with this team. But here they come back in with the Muck. They've got a Swampert in the back. And I think my play here is just to double shield in this matchup, go for 1 Sand Tomb if I need to, and then come out with basically an Earthquake loaded to throw into the Muck that will be coming back in. So I'm going to shield up the second Hydro Cannon. I can go for 3 more Dragon Tails, and at this range, Sand Tomb will be enough damage to take out the Swampert, and I am 1 Dragon Tail away from the Earthquake. We make it into this Muck, and this Earthquake will easily one-shot the Muck, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next battle, we see Slurpuff into defense from Deoxys. So we do resist the counter damage, and you can see these counters are doing like literally nothing. It's a non-stab fast move from the Deoxys, so yeah, it wouldn't do too much. We're going to go for an Energy Ball, and honestly, I think I should try and catch the next Rock Slide onto my Flygon, but instead, I'm just going to go for the Energy Ball straight away. They actually throw 1 fast move earlier, so this probably is going to be a Psycho Boost. And it is the Psycho Boost, so now I'm going to swap into my Flygon. They have debuffed their attack, and now I'm just going to go for that Dragon Claw straight away, getting rid of the Deoxys, making sure they can't bank any energy for later. And once again, we've got a matchup where Stone Edge would just be so much better for my Shadow Flygon as the Say Swap, but it is what it is. We're going to go for the Dragon Claw spam. The first one does not do a lot of damage to Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz is incredibly bulky. Going to go for another Dragon Claw, and if the opponent throws straight away, we're not going to be able to make it to another Dragon Claw, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'm now going to come in with the Slurpuff, they come in with Giratina, and we are so slow to swap out there, and that might be costly because what I need to do is fully farm down this Giratina, and I'm going to have to use both shields here. It's going to be incredibly close, but I think with that swap being so slow, even landing a Sand Tomb here, it's just not going to be enough. I will not be able to output enough damage with the Dragon Tails, and you can see we fall just short. I should be able to live the Dragon Claw here, but I don't think it's going to be enough here. We're so low on the Garchomp. We go for that Sand Tomb. Sand Tomb does actually grab the final shield. We make it to the Flamethrower on the CMP tie, but this is non-stab. It's not super effective. Flamethrower does not do enough damage to take out the Mandibuzz here, but this foul play will be enough to take out the Slurpuff, and they're able to snarl, farm down the Garchomp, and take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. And into the final battle, we see Walrein this time in the lead, so a little bit more comfortable for us, although this still isn't the best matchup, even though we are running Energy Ball, because like I said, we do need to land 2 of them to take out the Walrein. So we're going to go for the first Energy Ball, and this will do some nice damage to the Walrein, and yeah, let's see, we're able to get to a second Energy Ball before this opponent does throw their energy, so that's pretty good for me. I'm now going to let this move go through. I think they are low enough where I should be able to snipe them with a Garchomp. The opponent swaps into Venusaur. I don't think I was making it to a Flamethrower there, so I swap into my Garchomp. I'm going to shield this up, and I'm hoping I can grab a shield advantage with the Garchomp here, going for the Sand Tomb. It's a bit risky, but Sand Tomb does grab a shield. At this point, I'm pretty happy with that, so I'm going to let my Garchomp go down. Frenzy Plant does easily take out the Garchomp from that range, and now I can come in with my Flygon. I know I will be able to outpace them to a charge move. I could have gone for one extra Mud Shot, but I wasn't taking any risk. I wasn't counting. We take out the Venusaur, and let's see what the opponent wants to come in with now. They come in with a Surf Edge, so I'm going to count to 5, swap and catch the charge move onto my Slurpuff, and that's going to be massive for me. Leaf Blade does take me out. I can now overfarm, go for 4 Mud Shots, hoping Earth Power will be enough damage to take out the Surf Edge, and it does, and now I'm 1 Mud Shot away from the Dragon Claw, and from this range, Dragon Claw will be enough damage to take out the Walrein, and I'm able to take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.